people behind the scenes producing and stuff, really tweaking that stuff. So you never know really what went on in the studio either to make that sound.
Totally. I say that to people all the time. I mean, what people might have a signature amp from these guys or a signature guitar from those guys, but what they used on the record in the studio when no one was looking, you don't know. You just don't know.
You're wrong, Orbiter. It was the germanium diodes and the Soviet capacitors.
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. What's everybody's opinion? Hemel, what's your opinion on Soviet capacitors?
Boy. They lack mojo. They have mojo. I don't know.
Do capacitors have an impact on the sound of your guitar?
Yes.
How so?
Well, it depends on where it is. If it's on your tone pot inside your guitar, if it's in the pedal, where it is in the pedal circuit, different capacitors will have different not behaviors but roles on on the audio signal that'll start from your string being strummed to the woofer or the speaker that'll vibrate on the amp. You can have capacitors that are there for filtering any high pitch frequencies or low pitch frequencies. You can have some capacitors filtering out some electricity, some DC that's been input into your circuit. Because a capacitor will block DC, but it'll let AC through, and AC looks like this. There's sine waves, and what also looks like that are sound sound waves. So yes, capacitors will have an impact on your sound, most definitely. So this is basically how it'll have an impact. It'll either be used as a filter or cut out some DC or just round out basically your sound, either at the beginning of when you strum your string or until the end where it reaches your speaker.
So, Orbiter, when I'm wiring a guitar, I keep it really simple, and I just kind of leave it for the player to just add effects pedals and all their things. What about you? Do you add anything special, or unless the customer asks for it, or how do you keep your wiring when somebody's just like, wire up these two humbuckers? Like, what do you do?
It definitely depends on who I'm working with and what they're seeking. I have some guys that are very specific, and I'll come in and they'll want me to do orange drops and certain certain things. Other times, especially with the younger players, and also the younger players are often being more careful with their money, and so I do try to get a read from the person. So a lot of times I will leave it stock and just put, I'll swap it out unless they ask, and I'll it's a conversation that we definitely have. It seems like the younger guys just want, the basics and aren't quite, caught up in this capacitor or that capacitor or whatever. It's an interesting thing. It seems like as we go farther down the road of playing guitars and playing with effects, and we learn about all these things that we're supposed to do, quote unquote. Yeah, I have guys with very specific needs and other guys with that just want a pup swap, or I've got a dead volume pot, help me out, or I'm repairing, right? So they just want it to be a lot of times they just want it to be back working again so they can go on their way and get to the gig and play their guitar. Other guys, I get guys that come in with brand new Les Pauls and they want me to go through and change everything, and I will do that if that's what they want. But if I'm wiring it up from scratch for people, I usually like to use the orange drop caps. I think they sound good. They have that good vintage tone. I don't think you need to go all the way back to the old Bumblebee ones really to get that, but those do offer a little bit more of a vintagey vibe. But I think the orange caps are the best of both worlds. They're still pretty high quality. They're consistent and they sound good. And they're easy to get, which is